To natural gas, call 1-877-MY-IN-GRID for your natural gas conversion consultation today. You're watching FiOS1 News. It's 5 o'clock.
Tonight on FiOS1 News, now a postal worker loses his leg after being hit by a car. We'll have the latest live, plus the video you won't see anywhere else.
Dozens of people displaced after a warehouse fire spreads to their apartment building.
Then, how often are LIRR trains on time? The startling numbers coming up in a live report.
And is one community in our area the safest city in America? We'll take a look ahead.
FiOS1 News Now.
Good evening and welcome to FiOS1 News Now. I'm Mike Gilliam.
And I'm Courtney Kane. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will get to the day's top stories in just a moment, but first a check of that forecast.
Meteorologist Joe Chaffee is over in the FiOS1 Weather Center, and once the sun came out today, Joe, it's pretty nice.
Sure, and had a few downpours around midday, but they're done for Long Island. This is the warmest day of the last three. For everybody else, it's warm, but it's actually about 10 or more degrees cooler than it was at this time yesterday. In some cases, 15 degrees cooler, like Poughkeepsie at 68 when they were in the mid-80s yesterday. And it's all because of the wind direction, now all northwest. Satellite is nice and quiet, just some leftover patchy clouds to the east. Forecasted 7-day coming up.
Okay, Joe, thank you. A postal worker hit by a car on Long Island is in critical condition at Stony Brook Hospital.
FiOS1's Logan Crawford spoke with neighbors in North Babylon who say cars just go way too fast on the road, and he has exclusive video for us tonight. Logan.
Mike and Courtney, here on Prairie Drive is where that car crashed into the postal worker and his mail truck. As you can see here, the cut up grass where the mail truck eventually came to a landing. Now, neighbors we spoke with say this crash is just the latest of many crashes on the block they say happen way too often. Take a look at this exclusive video from a neighbor's home security camera showing the Lincoln Continental crashing into the postal worker and his mail truck, then smashing into a fire hydrant and utility pole. Louis Avella lives across the street from where the crash happened.
I heard a big bang, and when we come out, the truck was up on Harbor One, and the poor guy was laying there.
Emergency crews airlifted the worker to Stony Brook Hospital, where he's in critical condition. Witnesses say the crash cut off one of his legs. Police arrested the driver of the car, Stefano Belloisi of Deer Park. Devin Gilbert lives next door to the 51-year-old on Eastwood Avenue and is shocked by the accusations against her neighbor.
It's sad. I feel bad. The neighbors around here are all really nice, but I especially feel bad for the man. I hope he gets well soon.
Police say Belloisi refused medical attention. Neighbors on Prairie Drive say cars going too fast on their road is a huge problem.
I actually bought a speed gun when I moved in here. I've been clocking cars personally as a little hobby of mine. I've clocked as high as 79 miles an hour. It's a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit here. Residents like Jason Leslie say they've seen numerous crashes on the road over the years and would like to see something done to prevent future accidents. Neighbors say they often see cars speeding down the road, cutting other cars off, seemingly ignoring the town's speed limit.
Putting stop signs in the middle of the street. My neighbor was saying that they go around the school buses too, which is crazy.
Belloisi is charged with reckless driving and criminal possession of a controlled substance, 7th degree. Reporting in North Babylon, I'm Logan Crawford, FiOS1 News.
Okay, Logan, thank you very much. The FBI is asking for the public's help capturing a suspected violent criminal who allegedly murdered his friend in Plainfield, New Jersey as part of his initiation into the MS-13 gang. It's the first time in nearly 20 years the Newark FBI office is adding a suspect considered armed and dangerous to the 10 most wanted fugitives list.
According to investigators, Walter Giovanni Gomez, in his early 20s at the time of the 2011 murder in Plainfield, New Jersey, was attempting to become a full member of the street gang MS-13 by carrying out a gang-ordered killing. The target was Gomez's friend.
Officials believe Gomez fled to Maryland after the murder, but they say he's been making occasional trips to New Jersey. 7 other MS-13 members have also been indicted for their involvement in this case. The FBI is asking anyone with information about Gomez's whereabouts to give them a call. There is a reward of up to $100,000 for any tips leading to his arrest.
Crews in Passaic, New Jersey battling a 5-alarm fire that caused a warehouse to collapse. The warehouse on 1st Street going up in flames just about 10 o'clock last night. The fire soon spreading to an apartment building behind the warehouse, causing dozens of people to be evacuated.
So the fire got into that building, traveled up the rear walls, and the sprinklers in that building contained the fire into a few apartments and stopped the fire from spreading throughout that building, but did sustain heavy water damage throughout all 3 floors.
Well, tonight authorities they are investigating what caused the fire as 2 firefighters are recovering from smoke inhalation.
Now to the latest on the president and Russia. The commander-in-chief discussing our country's relationship with Russia within the past hour.
It would be wonderful, as we were discussing just a little while ago, if NATO and our country could get along with Russia. Right now, we're not getting along with Russia at all. We may be at an all-time low in terms of relationship with Russia. This is built for a long period of time, but we're going to see what happens.
And of course, stay with FiOS1 News. We'll have much more on the president's remarks coming up tonight at 7 o'clock.
And today, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson continuing talks with Russian leaders, including President Vladimir Putin.
The two met as top U.S. officials are still calling on Russia to stop covering for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. FiOS1's Jackie Zabelski has the latest.
Today was full of tough talks for Secretary Rex Tillerson and top Russian leaders amid high tensions between Russia and the U.S. Tillerson says there's a low level of trust.
The world's 2 foremost nuclear powers cannot have this kind of relationship.
During a news conference with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, Tillerson spoke of his meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin, listing the areas where the 2 nations find common ground.
We agree we want to deny a safe haven for terrorists who want to attack both of our countries. We agree that North Korea has to be denuclearized.
He says the 2 also share a desire for a unified and stable Syria, and that there needs to be more senior-level communication between the White House and the Kremlin. But as for those areas of disagreement, Lavrov says the U.S. strikes on Syria escalated the situation, adding there needs to be an honest investigation of the chemical attacks alleged to have come from the Assad regime. As the UN Security Council expects a vote on a resolution regarding the attack, Ambassador Nikki Haley is calling on Russians to join the international community.
It is long past time for Russia to stop covering for Assad. It is long past time for Russia to push seriously for peace and not continue to be part of the problem.
Jackie Zabelski, FiOS1 News.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's free college tuition program became law today. The Excelsior program makes state public college free to any student whose family earns less than $125,000. The governor signed that bill into law with former Secretary of State and Senator of New York Hillary Clinton by his side. Both spoke of the importance of a college education without the mountain of student loan debt. The governor also said higher education will bring jobs to the state.
The state with the most educated workforce is the state that is going to succeed long-term from an economic development point of view.
I want every young person in America to understand, you move to New York, you make your commitment in New York, you can get an affordable college education.
That program will begin in the fall of 2017 and will be phased in over 3 years. There's a disturbing robbery pattern on Long Island, and now police say the suspect has struck again.
Yeah, we'll have the latest coming up in a live report.
Then more fallout from White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer's controversial comments comparing Syria and the Holocaust.
Plus, after that United Airlines video went viral, we're asking passengers if they know their rights. So do they? We'll take a look. But first, here's a look at some winning lottery numbers.
Welcome to a show like no other, the Build Series.
How y'all feeling right now? You doing all right?
Your front row seat to some of the biggest names in entertainment, fashion, business, and more.
Let them know you're excited.
Every conversation brings insight, inspiration, and plenty of surprises. FiOS1 News is the only place on TV you can see Build. Tune in Fridays at 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. on FiOS1 News, only on Verizon FiOS TV. Don't miss Jenna Elfman and Rachel Dratch on the next Build on FiOS1 News.
If you're approaching 65, now's the time to get your ducks in a row to learn about Medicare and the options you have. You see, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So if 65 is around the corner, think about an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare supplement insurance plans, they help cover some of what Medicare doesn't pay and could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So don't wait. Call to request your free decision guide and gather the information now to help you choose a plan later. These types of plans let you pick any doctor or hospital that takes Medicare patients, and there's a range of plans to choose from, depending on your needs and your budget. So if you're turning 65 soon, call now and get started. Because the time to think about tomorrow is today. Go long.
We open on the Avenger Power Reclining Sofa and Console Love Seat from Bob's Discount Furniture. We see their price, only $6.99 each. Camera lovingly pans over their silky smooth performance fabric and comfy Bobopedic memory foam. Cut to a tight shot of their power USB ports. Then, a few surprises. The sofa has a drop-down middle seat with cup holders. The love seat has a flip-up headrest with lights and a hidden drawer. And both come in gray or black. In the last shot we cut to a devilishly handsome spokes puppet.
Welcome back. It's time now for your Weather on the Ones forecast.
Meteorologist Joe Chaffee is over in the FiOS1 Weather Center, and things kind of clearing out a bit there, Joe.
Yeah, and now we can go back to some average temperatures for the month of April as this new dry air mass is moving on in. And I know a lot of folks were complaining actually this morning in terms of the humidity because it was a bit high, especially for Long Island. But as we look north and west, it's nice and dry. Showers are up in eastern New England, so we can say goodbye to those. And now we can look at some of the temperatures, which, as we've been saying, the last few days on Long Island have been actually rather cool because of the wind off the ocean. So you got your chance to see 70s just about everywhere, even East Hampton getting to 68. Now, Poughkeepsie flipped at 68 to 86. That's about where they were yesterday at this time. So they're 18 degrees cooler. 70 at Newburgh, Newark at 78, 75 at Morristown. And as we look at the futurecast, now that we've gotten the drier air in here, skies will clear out tonight. And I think it'll be no worse than partly sunny tomorrow. There might be some clouds coming through from mid-morning to early afternoon, and then maybe a few more clouds around Thursday night into Friday morning, just a couple of weak disturbances in the mix. And that's really about it. So the rest of the week looking good. Clearing skies tonight, upper 30s to middle 40s, and we'll have sunshine for your Wednesday with your Thursday. I'm kind of off here, with temperatures up generally in the 60s. Courtney and Mike.
All right, thank you, Joe. Well, the serial robber who police say has been targeting businesses in both Nassau and Suffolk counties has struck again.
FiOS One's Cecilia Dowd is live with the latest at the latest location in Merrick. Good evening, Cecilia.
Good evening, Mike. Well, that's right. That brazen knife-wielding robber struck twice yesterday. First in Suffolk County, and he then crossed the border into Nassau County, and he hit this GameStop behind me on Sunrise Highway in Merrick. He's now struck 12 times island-wide, and he continues to elude police in both counties. Police in Nassau County say the machete-wielding robber has now struck 8 locations in Nassau and got away with money in 7 of the 8. The most recent, this GameStop in Merrick.
Getting out of hand, that's unfortunately the world today, which is horrible.
And that's not all. He crosses the border and has struck 4 locations in Suffolk County. The most recent, the barn in West Babylon.
Yesterday's the subject approached on foot, and he was wearing very bulky winter-style clothing. Yesterday was a very nice day. I would say he was dressed, way overdressed for the weather conditions. A winter jacket, a hood, a hat, winter gloves.
This map shows all the locations the suspect has struck, including Carvel's, Subway sandwich shops, and Dunkin' Donuts. He was caught on camera here in one of the incidents.
Oh, very concerned. You know, a lot of people in danger, especially at GameStop, where a lot of children are there. So, you know, the community is very concerned.
Children like 11-year-old Joseph Wierzemski, who got a game at GameStop.
He frightens you a little, but not that much.
Detective Sergeant James Madden from the Suffolk County Police Department addressed the 4 Suffolk robberies.
No one has been hurt to date. We don't want anyone to get hurt. I hope no one gets hurt. Whoever is out committing these crimes is desperate for money.
Madden says in Suffolk, the suspect has used 2 styles of knives, a large kitchen knife and a machete.
One of the reasons why someone does something like this is because of a drug addiction. We're certainly keeping that in mind. That may or may not be relevant in this case.
Now, Suffolk County Police say the suspect is under 6 feet tall with a medium build. Now, in Suffolk County, there is a Crime Stoppers reward of $5,000 for information leading to an arrest. And in Nassau County, there is also a Crime Stoppers reward of up to $5,000. So anyone with any information on the suspect is asked to call Crime Stoppers. And in Nassau County, that number is 1-800-244-TIPS. Reporting live from Merrick, Cecilia Dowd, FiOS1 News.
Cecilia, thank you. Now to the latest fallout after Sean Spicer's comments comparing Syrian gas attacks with the Holocaust.
FiOS one's Carolyn Fortino has reaction from people in Westchester County.
To make a gaffe and a mistake like this is inexcusable.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer delivering a full-throated apology following a briefing room blunder.
Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons.
Spicer's comments were uttered during Passover, the most celebrated Jewish holiday in the U.S. The press secretary drawing a comparison between the actions of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and Adolf Hitler, infamous for killing more than 6 million Jews during the Holocaust in gas chambers. To many here in Westchester, Spicer's comments are highly offensive.
Religious Jews will have 6 children. 1 for every million Jew that was gassed. And that really upset me when I heard him say that. That brought back to mind everything.
First of all, that you'd even get into any kind of comparison or even bring forth the name Hitler. Again, we're talking about, and on Passover. I really and truly, it hurt my head.
Local officials like Congresswoman Nita Lowey calling for Spicer to resign. Quote, instead of articulating a clear, comprehensive strategy towards Syria, Sean Spicer chose the first day of Passover to repeatedly downplay the horrors of the Holocaust. Reporting in White Plains, Carolyn Fortino, FiOS1 News.
On the week of the 100th anniversary of its formation, the New York State Police are looking for a few good people to fill the ranks. State Police announcing today they'll be holding entrance exams this fall at several locations all around the state. Online applications, they're now being accepted, and anyone interested can sign up for the exam at www.nytrooper.com.
Still ahead, millions of commuters inconvenienced and thousands of trains canceled.
No wonder the LIRR fell short of performance expectations. So what do riders think? Of more for you in a live report up next.